I love the old, we'll drive to the center of the map and see what happens trick.
Yeah.
Oh,
I shudder. Oh, do you see a bullet? Oh, that's the tail. I mean, I am hitting myself.
stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Why do you keep hitting yourself?
We are online.
Sweet.
Yeah. Happy Monday. Everybody here is vaccinated.
Fuck, dude, it's crazy.
We did it.
We totally did it. And I don't know. I'm starting to think about a summer trip to Seattle to go see Bunny's parents.
That sounds nice.
Does sound nice, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to like, I have a bunch of friends vaccinated. I'm just like, I'm going to come over to your house next week.
That's awesome.
Super
Is there going to
easy.
be like a horror? We should get some celebratory food at some point.
I still don't want to eat inside a restaurant, which maybe I'm weird, but also like,
No, I get it.
That's going to take a while. But I'll eat outside a restaurant.
I don't know.
Or inside your house.
Maybe Wednesday. We get some Zax or something.
Ooh, I like what you're talking.
You like what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm throwing these like sweet mortars with the weird trajectory.
Oh, let me put the game up. I just had us in heads view. Yeah,
Don't worry
let's
about
check
it.
out that.
I'm just messing around.
Yeah, what is up with that trajectory? I have so many
I
questions.
don't know, but how fun is this weapon?
I really like it. It came out great. Yeah.
Yeah. There's still some improvements that we can give to it. I almost kind of want to make that radius. Everything blows up so symmetrically right now, but I guess that's the nature of a tile-based game, right? It's kind of comes with the territory.
Yeah. I wonder if what if we had sort of a reducing damage from the epicenter and actually gave the trees, more than one hit point.
What is up with this trajectory? Well, I have an appetite to just like really make this thing good this stream.
That sounds great to me. I was wondering if our distance calculation is off.
I think you're right. You mean the thing that moves it forward?
Yeah, I was wondering if that function is wrong and our arc function is correct. Because I feel like we nailed that and it looks good. It looks like the X distance actually has a weird slowdown to it, though.
Where's the thing starting? Like in terms of its Y coordinate, how high up is it starting?
Oh, that's a good question. I think it starts at 0.5, which should be...
It starts in like the middle of the dog.
Yeah. If you aim really close to yourself, I guess it'll go the slowest, but also, yeah, the up is still the same. Damn. All right. It kind of just pops out of his head.
Well, everything about this is going to change mathematically. If we're going to do it right, we basically pick an initial velocity, and then we just fully simulate it, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to go back to the actual do the physics simulation. I think that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Instead of this double fake version.
Right. Exactly. This is a double fake.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's going to fix it. I don't particularly care. I think we should just do it.
Yeah, the thing
this game is like starting to get there, right?
It's
starting to feel a little bit like
very
a game.
close to a game. Yeah, actually, I have a lot more fun just playing around this now, so it means we're doing good. I was gonna say
and this rocket's so cool.
The rocket has a really good feel to it. Yeah, we might need to turn off these leaves at some point. They are super distracting. I fucking love them, but like, damn.
And I actually don't know if the dash is necessary in this game. Like, we added all this stuff to the game.
So if I think we should add.
Maybe the rocket needs splash damage as well, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I was gonna say
it needs an explosion.
I think a thing that would make the dash very interesting is some iframes, which is a whole different can of worms.
Oh, it would. Yeah.
Yeah.
The dash might be too fast.
It could be too fast. Yeah, it's pretty quick.
It's pretty fast. Pretty cool though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh man. Okay. I really want you to play Returnal now. It is actually all about iframes.
Oh, I mean, I was a big Hades guy, and I like me some iframes.
It's Hades wasn't quite so bullet hell though. Like this, you have to actually dodge through like planes of bullets coming at you or die.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
which is really cool in 3D. It actually is a really neat feeling.
Yeah.
Hades did that sometimes, but not often.
Control the dash was not invincible, right?
I don't think so. No, I think you. And it's been a minute. I forget what the bullets were like in Control. I thought they were just like. There were some rockets that you could grab, but a lot of them were just like guns. And you kind of just got hit by a bullet, right? Yeah, you couldn't really dodge through them. Yeah.
So, quick 2-minute review of Returnal from you.
It is, the gameplay is super sick. It reminds me a lot of, I sent this to you, it reminds me of Remnant in aesthetics, which is really weird.
Okay, yeah.
But it kind of has a very similar, like, kind of ruined world, vines over everything.
Okay, yeah.
And also the way the worlds are lined up. You go from, like, dark world to arid desert world to, like, forest world in a very funny way that I was like, did they just copy this?
Right.
The gameplay is incredibly tight. They did a really good job. I think the enemies and the tactics and the way you interact with everything is super, super satisfying.
This is a bit Remnant from the Ashes, these portals.
That's what I'm saying. You get to the end of the world and portal somewhere else. It's really weird. That not so much. And it looks better.
Yeah.
I don't know. You'll see when you play it. There was just like moments where I was just like, oh, this is Remnant.
This thing, this
Thanks a lot,
European
Europe. Yeah.
right to be forgotten. California has a similar privacy law, right? It's the worst, and the thing is, like, it's really bad if you have an ad blocker as well, because like it doesn't remember the setting that you select here. In some pages, the worst offender is weirdly Stack Overflow. Did you get this in Stack Overflow?
Oh God, I haven't even checked in a while. What's this gonna do to me?
Where you'll go in and this friggin' thing in the corner, people can't see it, but let me drag the window up. This thing will show up every single time, and I do this, and I go down. And I'm like, I don't want your targeting cookies. I almost don't even want your functional cookies, but I'm going to confirm my choices here.
Well,
and then, like,
you see why I forgot? Because you turned off the targeting cookies. It can't remember that you said no to it.
Is that what it's doing here?
I don't know. God. I just hit accept. I haven't seen that before.
Well, it didn't come back.
Okay.
So I'm relieved. But
I don't know if that's actually why.
I have to do that like once every couple of days, basically.
Ugh.
Yeah, so the internet sucks now. It's kind of a wasteland of these pop-ups.
Well, and like, why? Why would anybody?
Do you like the pages that they like immediately evolve dark patterns, where there's some pop-ups that say don't sell my information, and then it takes you to like a terms page, and it's a dead end because like it didn't actually do anything. It just tells you all this stuff. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know those?
I've seen a couple of those.
Yeah.
Are they terms to explain to you that you can either let them sell your information or you can leave the website? Like those are.
I think that's basically what
those are the terms. Yeah.
I think those are the terms. Yeah. Here are my terms, asshole. Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, these are just the worst. And the worst part is I've just accepted all of them because I'm so annoyed at it.
I guess so. Yeah. Should I just be paying for my content by seeing the ads? I do have an ad blocker.
I have an ad blocker on, so I have cookies. I accept all the cookies, and I have an ad blocker.
All right.
Yeah,
all right.
this shit is rad. Super. Oh my God.
This is the Mercury News. Have we talked about the Mercury News?
Yes, I talked about them last time. I hate Mercury News.
How did I end up the Mercury News?
They're everywhere.
Screenshots. Yeah.
So it's like they're like San Jose, right? So they have the best engineers in the news business, making sure that it's. I don't understand.
I saw the best minds of my generation.
It's retargeting ads forever.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a really cool sort of like Alien, Blade Runner, Remnant vibe. Like,
yes,
it's like a nice mashup of those three little things. Gameplay's great. The game loop is like utterly atrocious sometimes, which is a real bummer. Like you die and you go back hard. Like there's a leveling system, and go back to 0 at the start.
There are like temporary buffs in your run, right? Is it
Lots.
does it have a Hades kind of aspect to that?
Yeah, and none of them are as cool as Hades. Like very few of the buffs actually like do something. Mostly you're just looking for like, please give me the healing buff.
Yeah, and I've heard that the buffs also come with sometimes they come with penalties.
Some of them, yeah. There's some buffs that come with a debuff that you find out that one before you put it on. But sometimes you can open like a cursed container, and those have a debuff that you can't see, and it's like a chance. So just hope you get lucky. It's a real.
And does that make the game better? Does it?
I don't think, because I don't think they're balanced very well. Like I think the debuffs are super duper harsh. Mm-hmm. The entire thing is balanced around not ever getting hit or taking damage, because you get like a increasing bonus after you kill like X enemies without damage, and also when you're undamaged, the health objects increase your max health instead of healing you.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of debuffs that are like, take damage when you open a door, which fucks up the entire like playing the game good loop. It's really weird.
Is it like, can you choose to take the debuff or not? Or is it just like you open a chest and then you're cursed?
You can the chest is cursed. It's like I'm an extremely cursed chest, and it gives you a chance of debuff, so like some are medium, some are very high.
I would just never open a cursed chest.
That's it. Like I basically never do. I don't. It just doesn't feel like the risk reward is sort of like correctly tuned. Because if I got way better gear, I'd open more shit. But it's
Hades
had
the chaos boons,
and I went for those every time because they were.
And
awesome.
yeah, I would. Because the reward was worth it, and I also had a sense of choice. You could also just like not take it if you didn't want it. And that was the secret sauce to Hades' like replay value. It was like you could customize your build every single playthrough.
Yep. Yeah, Returnal feels more like you figure out a gun that you like to use.
Yeah.
Hope it randomly drops on your run, and then just like stick with it.
Yeah.
Which is too bad, because it's a really fun game to play otherwise.
Their style of bullet hell are these kind of like identical looking projectiles. I guess that's what you have to do in bullet hell.
Yeah, it's interesting. When there's like different enemy types on the screen, a lot of them have different colors, so at least you can sort of you can see it. There's also like the classic. You can sort of see it on the left there, like a circle, expanding circle of damage on the floor.
Yeah,
they just have to jump over or dodge through. Some enemies fire lasers and do like a sweep that you have to go through. So
right.
More than just dots, but the bullet variety is certainly not high.
I will say in Nier Automata that this is one of my several gripes about the game. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they'll have
maybe bullets. Yeah.
Was that all of the bullet hell was identical in this game? They were all like this translucent, like purple spheres. Mm-hmm.
Well, and some of them you could destroy with your sword, right? And some of them you couldn't.
Some of them you could, some of you couldn't.
Yeah.
I think the ones you couldn't are like silver and metallic looking. So the game like read really well. Mm-hmm. But it was also super boring. It was like, this is actually kind of like weirdly. Oh God!
Did you head over to Mercury News again?
No, but when a page takes that long to load in the modern day, you know you're in for bad.
Yeah,
time,
put bullet hell in your search. I bet it'll. Yeah, I bet it'll give us something.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. Oh yeah, that boss was really cool, but also like it's very samey, and those are the same bullets you've seen the entire time.
Yeah, exactly, and it almost feels like a failure of the art direction when I see this. Right, the fact that they're like perfect spheres, it just I don't know.
Is there a bullet hell that you really like?
Yeah, lots. I mean,
I'm trying to think of like Ikaruga was a very popular one.
Yeah, a lot of 2D. I don't know if they fall into the realm of like pure bullet hell, but there's a lot of 2D games that kind of do like saturate the screen with projectiles. Mm-hmm. Look, my standards aren't that they're not that like impossible to satisfy. Just like don't make every single bullet the exact goddamn same thing.
That's pretty reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even different shapes and sizes, like you could do a lot. I'm with you.
Yeah, I think it's tricky with a 3D game where you need like when you have a rich environment. I guess Nier Automata would probably classify as this as well, where you need to like draw out the contrast between what can kill you and what can't. And the strategy that both of these games seem to be taking is that like we'll just make these like super bright neon projectiles. You know.
Also, they've both desaturated the background like dramatically.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
both take place in very dark or monochromatic environments the entire time. Yeah.
Yeah, and so far we don't have a reading problem, but we don't really have a game. So that'll be a fun thing for us to think about.
Yeah, honestly, I think the rockets. I think our bullets have sort of a reading problem.
Well, you can't see the rocket, and you especially can't see it on over zoom, right? Because the rocket is yellow, and it just kind of looks like a particle stream right now, right?
Yeah, our red bullets are the best ones right now.
Yeah. Maybe red is the only color that actually reads. This also just has the easiest and most predictable trajectory, so your eye can follow it very easily, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about mortars.
Bring it on. Yeah, I look forward to you digging into this game. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so the nice thing about doing mortars this way too is that we can orient the tip of the bullet, right? Like we'll actually be able to point it along its trajectory. Because right now it's sort of this like flat thing that's.
Yeah, we'll know its velocity, and therefore we can angle the bullet that way. Yeah. Okay. So our challenge here is that we want to be able to hit a specific spot. Because we have a targeting system, and it would just be hard to input otherwise, right? Otherwise, you'd be playing like an artillery game. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, where you're like changing your angle and your power,
Yeah,
like.
exactly. Yeah. Worms, you said, was like that, right?
Oh yeah. Worms is a lot like that. Yeah, and
The game that I know that's like that is Scorched Earth. We talked about
Scorched
it on
Earth,
stream
yeah,
before.
totally.
Yeah.
I found after talking about that, I found the old Max Shareware version of that I actually recalled, and it was just as weird as I remember. Still can't dash through that. That's great.
I actually did dash through it at
Fuck.
one point, like that.
That was diagonal dash. Oh,
That was a
shit.
diagonal dash, yeah. Oh, you said I'm not dashing through the
Through the walls. Yeah.
walls. Oh, yeah. The dash isn't fast enough. Yeah. The dash would basically have to be like one square per frame for it to be a dash through. And I don't think our rocket is quite that fast either, right?
No. And if nothing is, that actually solves a bunch of problems for us. So.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, mechanics.
I saw it try to autocomplete Mercury News first, by the way. I'm sorry.
Physics. Calculate
Trajectory?
angle
Angle?
of trajectory. Okay, this this wonderful PowerPoint looks promising, but that is going to be a video, which I don't want to do right now. Trajectory calculator. Did we mess with this before? Does this seem familiar?
I think we just glanced at it and didn't really dive into it.
Yeah.
But I think this is what I had to pull on next. I think we validated that the formula we had that we sort of
There wasn't there like a Quora. Khan Academy's got to be good, right? See our video about finding the optimal. We're not trying to optimize. We're trying to find exact, right?
Yep.
Okay, I think this is what I was looking at. Oh yes, this person who's flexing. We're gonna look at this dude's profile here. He's got a friend, maybe more than a friend. He's kind of wearing a funny hat. He's big into math. He's just answering all these math questions.
He went to high school, so.
And then answered a question about which one's Rourke? Is that Atlas Shrugged or is that Fountainhead?
Oh man, my life is better for having never read either of those. I know that John Galt is Atlas Shrugged though, so.
Okay. Yes. So.
Yep, the Fountainhead.
Yeah. There we go.
Well, good kittens, but wait, go back to the guy's physics answers.
All right. This is a nice little cul-de-sac of online life right there.
Kittens, Ayn Rand, and math. Yeah, you've.
Yeah.
That's the trifecta.
Okay, so backing it up, the exposition is cosine theta, which is what is he saying? U is t is the like the muzzle velocity, right? Going
Yeah.
straight out of the
This
the gun.
says let U be the initial velocity.
Oh, okay. So t is time.
Mm-hmm.
T is time. Okay, yes. So u is the initial velocity, because the letter V sucks to this person. And V cosine theta basically gives us the horizontal component of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then U sine theta gives us the vertical component of that, right? The kind of interesting thing for the y-axis is that we also have an acceleration that's being applied over time.
Yep.
And the cumulative effect on displacement of that acceleration is this expression here, 1/2 gt squared, right? Okay. Eliminate t from the second equation by substituting t equals this thing. And this is just sort of smashing those two equations together, right? For the projectile hit the target, the equation must be satisfied by the point h and k.
So HK is our target position. So
So let's put h instead of x, and let's put k instead of y, right? And that's what this expression is. This calculation is long-winded. I agree, sir. To simplify things, they take h over k equals this expression, and then this crazy expression to equal b. These are constants. H over k, you know h, you know k. Yep. That's just a constant. This is also constant.
That involves the velocity. So yeah, we know that actually because we're looking for angle only. Yep.
Correct.
Cool.
So then, I guess this equation here is what this is, except we kind of did this funny substitution here, right?
Gotcha. So the z is our angle, and maybe that's the question to solve here.
Oh yes, cosine z equals cosine. Yeah, z is the cosine of the angle.
Yeah.
Right.
But if we have z, we can. Yeah.
We immediately note that if z does not equal zero, because this would mean the projectile was directed vertically upwards, and then the problem would be trivial. Then you have this, rearranging on squaring on both sides, you do this. This expression is quadratic in z squared. You can solve this using the quadratic formula and convert back to the original quantities you know, to know what values of theta, the angle of projection to go with, what values of u at the speed of projection. Okay.
That actually looks tractable.
It looks somewhat tractable, only he stopped halfway, right? He didn't actually give us the quadratic equation here, right?
Isn't that ax squared plus bx plus c? What do you mean?
It is, yes. The quadratic equation is negative b plus or minus the square root of...
Yeah.
Like, you know, that whole b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a or something like that, right? I might cut over to the whiteboard really, because I'm gonna lose track of the math here.
Bringing that iPad, yeah.
Let me wrestle with my technology here for a second.
Sweet. Let me hop into this Miro as well. Are you paying for this? Miro's still free, huh?
We're not paying for it. Yeah.
That's great. I like that every time I open this board, it just zooms in on foreshortening. And yours picks a different spot. That's really funny.
Yeah, I don't know either. Um, okay. Of course, the mobile app doesn't show me where the other two cursors are. So this might get a little bit complicated.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And the mobile app has a different scale. Let's see.
Okay, I see you drawing. Oops. Is the problem that there's two of you?
It might be that.
Huh.
Maybe I need a separate identity for my mobile app.
I was gonna say, if this board is publicly accessible, maybe you could hit it in a private window. And then follow. And then
interesting.
follow,
So if I did this, I think it's an invite.
Yeah.
Copy board link. Private window. Let's go here.
And then see if you can follow your avatar.
Foreshortening.
Welcome to foreshortening land.
Okay. And then how do I follow?
Well, that's annoying.
Jeff Lee.
It takes away our avatars. Okay, I mean that looks like it's your other cursor. Hey, Dean Putney's in the chat. A is what Dean says.
So how did you follow me before?
Oh, I clicked on your face in the top right, but that's not the case on this for some reason.
Oh, why is this so complicated?
Yeah, it took away our doodads.
Okay. I'm gonna try to match what's on my my tablet with what's on the screen here, and if I draw like this, I think this is gonna work.
Yeah,
I think this is gonna work.
That is legible.
Okay. All right. Going back real quick. So there's this monstrosity here. I'm gonna do some substitutions here, right? So first of all, they're saying that A is equal to. They said H over K. I'm gonna call that
That's our X and Y, right?
X and Y.
Yeah.
Why don't we just call it X and Y? I need a thicker tip here.
That's pretty legible on the stream.
And then G is still reasonable. If G and H is our X, right? X squared divided by Y squared or YV.
YV?
YV
yeah,
squared.
Yeah.
Right.
I forgot about you already. Yeah.
And then what they're saying is that Z equals cosine theta. Right? I'm going to do another thing where I'm going to call W cosine squared theta. Is that okay?
Sure. Cosine squared.
And the reason why I'm doing that is that I'm just copying what they wrote here. A squared plus 1 times Z to the 4th plus 2B squared minus A squared. Right, but if I substitute in, I can't really draw on a line, can I? I'm going to substitute that. I'm going to put W in there instead. So that's that A squared plus 1, W squared. And this is our quadratic equation.
Gotcha. Yep.
All right, and the quadratic formula, I'm never going to remember this. Google's pretty good. Is negative b squared plus or minus the square root of negative b, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And the bottom is always 2a, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Great. Okay, so now that we're here, let's get an expression. Let's solve for w. So w is equal to negative b, which is this horrible thing, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a, which is a squared plus 1, times c, which is 1. No, c is b squared.
C is b squared. Yep.
All divided by 2 times a squared plus 1. Does that track so far?
Yeah. Yep, that does make sense. That is a little gnarly.
That is gnarly. Okay, so if the expression... I think we mentioned last time that this thing here is the discriminant.
Mm-hmm.
And it tells us things about this this equation. If that discriminant, it basically discriminates our possibilities into 3. If that value is positive, then we have 2 solutions. If it is negative, then we don't have any real solutions. It's imaginary, and therefore it basically is impossible to solve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's 0, we only have 1 solution. Because of this plus minus, right?
Mm-hmm.
That plus minus, if this discriminant is positive, that means that the plus minus will apply, the plus case will apply, and the negative and the minus case will apply. If it's 0, then it doesn't really matter if it's plus or minus because you're just going to be adding 0, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that makes sense so far, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we just need to be able to put that into code, all this. So that gets us to w. And w is cosine squared theta, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we still need to take... so our actual theta value is equal to the arc cosine. Is that arc cosine? Cosine, or is that 1 over cosine?
Ooh, let's see. This is always the harsh. Our cos trig is... I thought it was 1 over cosine. Let's see if that's right.
I think cosine is a negative 1 is 1 over cosine. You're right.
Oh wait, is that the same thing?
They're not the same thing.
Yeah.
I think it's just arc cosine. It's cosine and negative 1, same thing.
Okay. Yep.
What?
His case says I'm always torn when Google
Sometimes...
returns. Oh, he says I'm always torn when Google returns an actual answer. They're gradually scraping the web of any content that might lead someone to visit another website. Yeah, man, let me tell you about AMP and how much I hate it too. Ugh.
There was an article today, I didn't read it, that said that 2021 may be the year that AMP is gonna die. I didn't understand I didn't dig any deeper, but I didn't.
May we be so lucky, because AMP is brutal.
Yeah. Okay. So cosine to the -1 of y, sometimes interpreted as the arc cosine of y, and yet the very next line is cosine to the -1 of x. Now, mind you, the letter doesn't matter. Sometimes interpreted as 1 over cosine or the secant of x. Let me just be very clear on the whiteboard that I mean arc cosine.
Yeah. Maybe it's that.
The arc cosine of the square root of w, right, is our angle. So this adds yet another place where the equation can fail, right? You see that additional square root over w. If the entire w value is negative in either the plus case or the minus case, or both, then there is no solution to the problem. That's a little bit unsatisfying. This is a very messy equation.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, is that for values where we're targeting your glass is being cut out by the camera, so it looks like you're just like...
I'm just...
That's really funny. Is it possible that that's for, like, if you target below the plane or you're targeting, like, straight zero? Both of which should be fairly challenging to accomplish here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what it means. Like, I think we talked a little bit about, like, how can you have two answers? Well, you can have two answers if, the tank... Oh. Man, the palm rejection is really bad on the iPad.
Huh. Can you... did you scrolled on purpose.
So, if the tank or the dog is up here and your target is down here, right? T is a bad letter because it stands for tank as well.
Actually, maybe one of the things that's going to make this fail is when you are outside of the range that can be reached by the velocity we give, so you'll get a number that's not satisfiable. Is that possible?
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's totally possible.
Okay.
So, what are the situations that make this impossible? Or we have two answers because you can just aim directly at this thing, right? And really, what the shot will look like with gravity is something vaguely like this. But you can also do a shot that's like this, right? That's why you get two potential answers.
Yep.
Right. But I think, as you said, there's also an answer where you just, like, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't even matter. Like, even if you shoot an optimal shot, like, usually that's like 45 degrees or slightly above that, you'll still miss because the muzzle velocity just is totally insufficient, right? Yeah. So that would be something like if your target was over here and you made the optimal shot, but it still didn't have enough juice to make it, right? So I figured that was the case that was covered by if this thing is negative in here, but there's also a situation where this can be negative. And also, what does arc cosine look like? What is the function of arc cosine? What is the graph of that? Arc cosine is the red thing here. Is it possible for this to have an undefined answer? I guess that the value is going to be outside of the range -1 to 1, right? I'm not sure under what situations this will exceed that boundary. It's never going to be negative. I guess this is plus or minus, right? So this is another complexity.
Yeah. Okay.
Dang.
I know this is
So how do we? So what does 4 answers mean?
I don't know. How do we pick that?
Well, it's 4 answers if. Yeah, it's 4 answers. Well, what does it mean? And what is the geometric intuition of having 4 possible answers for this? It doesn't make sense. Some of them must cancel out, right?
Yeah. I feel
like there's only 2 possible answers, right? It's this one.
The plus or minus must be, well, yeah, there must be 2. If you're not aiming below the plane, is it possible for there to be 2 working trajectories?
Sorry, say that one more time.
If you're not aiming below the tank, can you have a second possible trajectory? Or are you required to make the arc shot? I guess you could aim directly at it. Yeah, never mind. I can see it.
Yeah. Are you saying, like, I didn't draw all the possible scenarios, right? Let's draw another scenario.
I think I was just incorrectly thinking that there's actually a anything different about shooting at the same level as the tank. But if you're close enough, you can make a straight shot or a giant arc. Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, maybe
like that.
Yeah. So maybe if we get 2 answers back, maybe what we're looking for is actually the greater angle too, because that is what we want from the mortar. Is that always, that's correct, right?
Yeah, we can have some heuristic where we're trying, where we choose. Yeah. In our case, it's the height that we're shooting at is going to be like, there's no delta in the height, luckily. Right. All right. Well, I guess we can just start plugging away, right?
Let's see what we got.
Ugh, too many windows. Where does this go? Is it the bullet system?
I feel, should we stick this in its own file for now? I feel like we're gonna.
It's gonna get gnarly. I'm gonna throw it all in here for now.
Okay.
And then I think it does deserve to be refactored though.
Well, I guess one more question is that we actually only calculate the angle once, right? That's all we ever need.
Yeah, you're right. Basically, when we construct the bullet. So you're right. It can actually just go here, right? So this bullet config, it does have the target, right? Mortar config has the target. It has the origin. And then the bullet itself has a current speed. But I think what we actually need here is a velocity, don't we? And a 3-dimensional velocity at that. And it's going to be optional, right? Because not everything's going to have that.
Yep.
Oh. Why does it do that?
I don't know.
Can it tell? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, especially with geomatrix for some reason.
Does it do that with your other libraries?
What? There's no other libraries I use the way I use geomatrix.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. It gets confused about our systems imports when we're importing a constant and the global, but that's a different case.
Yeah. Okay, so we know that the velocity is just mortar only, right? Is current speed is also mortar only? Is that correct?
Yeah. Oh, I think we're gonna lose that actually.
I agree.
Yeah. That's our hack.
I'm just gonna go ahead and break the type checker right there.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we kind of have what we need already, right? I'm gonna call this big A, and that's x over y, right? The final y is technically 0, right?
Final y. Yeah. No, wait. Sorry. XY is it's XZ coordinates here. We're ending on a map point. Oh, wait. What are we?
Yeah, it's the height.
It's the height. Nope. Never mind. I get you.
Yeah, and then x actually means the straight line distance between the target and the origin.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the axis that we're kind of like working with. It's not axis aligned to the world x, y, and z. It's Y is like how far you are off the ground, and then X is how far are you on the path between the origin and the target.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So I think the core article had something to say about this. Dividing by k wasn't too hot an idea since k could well be 0. However, if k is 0, the problem is simpler. K is 0, right?
Oh, that does help.
Concerning h not equal to 0, which means that the distance is strictly greater than, you're not just shooting yourself. The tangent of theta is equal to gh u squared cosine squared theta, which therefore implies that sine of 2 theta is equal to gh over 2u squared.
Oh, we have that. If we get our distance with h, and we can do that pretty easily, then is that all we have to do?
Yeah, but what is this? How does this go back into this formula right here?
We can calculate. Oh,
I see.
yeah.
All right, we're gonna go back to the whiteboard real quick.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna see if
yeah, that changes things dramatically.
Yeah, it's nice. Luckily, we don't have to hit anything. Well, so far we don't have to hit anything above. This,
yeah,
right?
and let's keep it that way.
Let's keep it that way. Okay. All right. So starting from the beginning, what we're saying is what tangent of theta is equal to. I'm going to use my terminology again. G h is x divided by v squared cosine squared theta.
Mm-hmm.
And the sine of 2 theta is equal to gravity times the distance that you travel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It just occurred to me as I was writing this that this still might suck because like a constant muzzle velocity might not get us what we want. So we'll have to figure out exactly how it feels after we do all the solving here. So how does that get us to a simpler expression? Because this is missing half the story here, right? Like the reason why this gave us a simpler expression is because the dude did the whole quadratic equation for us here. Right?
I think it's that we don't. It's just that we don't need to do the quadratic equation anymore, right? Because we can figure out, like with our angle, we can actually do a lot of the work already. This just gets us to the angle faster.
I see. We just have this.
Right.
It's just straight up this.
Right.
Oh, shit.
That's our angle. Yeah. So then we can go to town.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, theta is equal to the arc sine. I didn't even see this. Of divided by 2. Right?
Yeah. Right. Because that is sine of 2 theta. Yep. Exactly.
Oh crap. Okay.
Yes. That's really easy.
Child's play.
So what's funny is that I think our what is it? H is actually not 0. It's going to be like 0.5 here. But we should, if we assume it's 0.
You mean the K, the displacement off the ground? I agree.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, but let's ignore that.
We're ignoring that. Yeah, it's a delta that we're talking about here. Okay, so x is the full distance, right? Which we did here.
Oh, delightful.
Equals. Do we have a g anywhere?
No, because I think that's in the other system.
And then let us just do some magical constant. Is this person's notion of G negative or positive? I guess we'll find out.
I think it's negative.
Okay. Let's just do -3 for now and see where that takes us. Is equal to mortar gravity times the distance divided by 2 times muzzle velocity, right? This is actually muzzle speed,
Right.
technically speaking. Yeah. Again, I don't know what these are all magic numbers, right?
Yeah.
And it is the math.arc a sign. This whole business.
And then divide all that by 2.
Yes, divided by 2. Okay, which then gives us our...
So our velocity is...
what do we call the velocity
Because we...
dist? And then we have const vel. We have like the horizontal velocity, h vel equals mortar muzzle speed times the cosine of theta. And then the vertical velocity is equal to the mortar muzzle speed times math dot sine of theta. Along origin to target axis, along positive y-axis, y3 axis. When I say y3, you understand what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
That's the three-dimensional y-axis, not the two-dimensional y-axis. Okay, so this gets us almost to our three-dimensional velocity, but we have to actually decompose h-vel into 2 components now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Sorry, I was just looking at this calculation, and then I was looking at the VVEL version for him. I guess we need to apply. We're going to apply gravity to this in our physics. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So bullet dot vel equals vec3 from values of, and we have something. Then we have the VVEL, and we have something, right? And the first something is we basically needed to know the angle of this line right here. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I was wondering if is it easier to use the vec2 rotation functions to sort of like orient towards the target, then orient up by theta, and then scale by muzzle speed?
Can you say that one more time?
Maybe I got it wrong. I was thinking if we take a vector, I guess a vector point straight out of the tank, rotate it towards the target, rotate it up by theta, and if it's a normal, it'll be like a one vector and scale it by the muzzle speed, and that's our velocity in the correct direction. Does that make sense, or am I misunderstanding what we're actually gonna get out of this?
It does. Yeah, I think what you're talking about achieves the same thing mathematically.
Yeah.
But we need to know what the actual angle is.
Yeah.
We need to know we need to know the angle here. So the distance of this. So this actually becomes length of delta. This is. I'm just gonna do vec2 decorate for now. This will be easy to factor out. And then the angle along the XZ plane of this. Sorry, I'm getting out the tablet again.
Yep.
So this is OpenGL space looking down onto the ground from God's view, right? And let's say this is origin. And let's say this is target. You have this vector. The angle we want is this one. Let's not call it theta because we have another theta. What's a different angle thing? Phi? Is this how you do phi? Something like that? Or is that
Phi sounds
capital
good, yeah.
theta? I don't remember.
Phi, yeah, same.
I don't remember anything.
Yeah, you got phi there. That's good.
Okay.
What is capital theta? Oh, capital theta is weird. Yeah.
So how do we get that? Or can we just do proportions? Because we know the delta. This is like our dx, and this is our dz, basically. Can we just scale them proportionally? Like basically, this is the this is distance to the target. So whatever the hvel is, so hvel is to dt as xvel is to dx, and similarly hvel is to dt as zvel is to dz. Does that make sense? Those ratios should all be the same.
Yes.
Because hvel is whatever. This is the velocity along this direction, right? And we just calculated that here.
Yep.
And so all those ratios should be basically line up, right?
I see. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay, which means and we can translate our analogies, our little like SAT verbal section analogies, to just multiplication or division. It should be the same, right? Say hvel, the ratio of hvel to dt is equal to the ratio of xvel to dx. Is that basically how we translate analogies into math?
Yes, that should be.
It is not the same, I believe, as hvel times dt is equal to xvel times dx. Right? Those two aren't equivalent because if I actually did the math and move stuff around, this would swap the location. Right? Clearly, the stuff on the right side of the not equal sign is not equal to the stuff on the left side. And I think the thing on the left is right? Does that sound right?
Yeah, I mean, you're basically going to take the, right, because we have hvel, so it'll be hvel over dt times our x or y distance.
So we're looking for xvel, and that is going to be equal to hvel.
Oh, can you scroll up a little bit on the computer?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes,
you're good.
Right here.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'm going to try to draw straight. There's no reason why I need to be drawing crooked when I literally have lines. X vel is equal to H vel, and this makes total sense, right? Times dx over dt. Okay, that makes total sense. Probably didn't even need to think about it that much. So H vel times dx is delta 0 divided by dt, which is the distance, right? And this is H vel times delta of delta 1 divided by distance. But it's the negative of this because in two-dimensional space, we convert any positive y into a negative z.
Yep.
Horrible. Okay. So that's our initial velocity, right, of the mortar. So when we clone this, we just say vel equals... This is actually tricky to clone because it is a potentially undefined vec3, right?
Ooh, you gotta put, yeah, you gotta call it a bullet.
What if I did this instead? How do you feel about ternaries in general?
Oh, I feel great. Yeah. Yep. And you can turn the whole thing anyway. Yeah, totally.
Remember that collection if we were talking about before?
I know.
Wouldn't it be cool if, we could do the Ruby style thing where we just do like...
I wish.
Yeah.
Why is undefined? Ah, there we go. Never mind. Just a linter error.
Okay.
Cool.
How does that feel?
I think that feels pretty
A
good.
little bit wacky, right?
Little bit
but
wacky.
we kind of cranked it out. I'm gonna try to be a little bit responsible here.
Dean loves a good ternary. Everyone loves a good ternary.
Yeah. Do you like chaining your ternaries?
Ooh, I do not.
Yeah.
Maybe Dean does. But maybe he'll be offended for that I said that.
Okay. All right. So we've set up the initial velocity, which is great. Now we actually need to animate this thing, right? So
this is gonna be the great.
bullet has a transform 3 already, right? And we're setting this correctly.
Exactly.
Correct?
Yeah, because that works.
So this is not too bad, right? So const the displacement is equal to, we're going to do this freaking thing, right? Okay, so first of all, yeah. We're going to multiply the velocity times the delta time, right? Gosh, I wish this. I never thought I'd be saying this, but that's like I wish I was writing C++ right now, because then I wouldn't. We could just do operator overloading. We could make
Make
code
it take
look like the math.
Yeah, I know.
We're gonna simplify this in a second, but we're gonna take the velocity. Where is our bullet? It's just called bullet.
It's called bullet. Yeah.
Pull out vel. Bang. And then we're going to scale it by dt, right? And then we're going to add the influence of gravity, right? I guess we can just do the influence of gravity directly on disp here, right? Bullet vel exclamation point. I think scale is not defined in our type definitions. Yes.
Not on vec3. Yeah.
Okay. Is there a signature I can use already? Doesn't look like it. Okay.
It's still weird that works.
It's a little bit weird. Okay, and then disp of the vertical axis is equal to.
Is it negative mortar gravity times dt?
It is mortar gravity.
Oh, that's already negative. Yeah.
Gravity times dt. Right.
Yes.
This plus equals this. Yeah.
That's right.
Yep. Okay. And then we're going to say if displacement 1 is less than 0.5, right? That's the firing height, right? Actually, we should probably make that a constant as well, right? We're just saying it's 0.5 off the ground?
Sure.
If it's less than that, then it's blown up, right? And that's what this is?
Yes. Cool.
Otherwise...
Update the 3 pos, yeah. Which is now disp.
Oh, and it's not disp.
Oh, it's 3 pos. You gotta add the current transform 3's pos to the disp.
Transform. Do we have a transform 3 dug out yet?
Unfortunately, no, because we were just writing into it with the current pos. So line 91 basically. Oh, we didn't even dig it out. Yeah.
Equals this thing, right? ID. Let's just say it's there.
Yep. Dot position.
Having a hard time with it. Was it in there?
No, but it should be dot position. Did you?
Oh, is this because
you spelled it wrong on 81? There's a missing S. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Whew.
I hate. Yeah. Does that?
We're not scaling it. We're adding it, right?
Yeah, we need to. Well, we still need to scale the velocity, but then we need to, add new pos. Yep.
And this is the new position, right?
Nice.
And that's that. And then we can set the orientation as well, right? We actually, I forgot to update the velocity as well. The velocity.
Ooh, I have bad news about current speed. We needed that.
We need a current speed?
The rocket used it.
Oh, did I delete from constants?
We took it out of the bullet component. Line 74 is blowing up because of that.
Oh.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's
easy.
fine. Easy fix.
Yeah.
And it was optional.
And nothing needed to set it here? Did we not even initialize it here?
I don't think we did. I think we just set it to the previous one and it comes in undefined if it's not there.
Oh, how did rockets work? Oh, yes. We didn't have to define it first. Okay, so the new velocity is vec3 dot add of Well, it's basically the clone of the old velocity. There's the bullet.vel. In the new vel, the y velocity is plus the mortar gravity times dt, right? Bullets. New vel.
Cool.
And then we can also set the orientation of the bullet here.
Oh.
Okay. Maybe let's call that a to-do.
Okay.
I have no idea how much damage we just did to the game. Let's see if the rockets still work. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Uh.
They don't accelerate as quickly.
Oh, you're not cloning the velocity in the bullet system. Or sorry, you're not cloning current speed, so it's not taking. The clone function for bullet.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Ooh, good memory. That would have taken me forever, like hilariously long time to just to figure out.
No, I saw it happen, and then I was like, oh, there's more stuff happening, and then I remembered. It's just b dot current speed, because if it's undefined, it's undefined. Yep.
Sweet.
Now, I think the mortar's going to blow up, because we do seem to have a type error. Let's fire it. I mean, let's fire it.
Mortar T-tails never used. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Vec2 distance, new pause.
Oh, I thought it was that new pause is undefined there. It is that new pause is undefined there. Because we are outside of the loop. Did we override something called new pause that was supposed to... No, that const definition would have blown up. How did this...
No, we did override it.
Yeah, but can you... Oh, you can. Because it was...
let new pause.
Fair enough.
New pause is supposed to be a vec3, right? Or, no, this is a vec2, is it not?
I thought it was, yeah. I think we might need to call it new pause 3, because that's what we had.
Great call. Yeah.
Yeah. And also it will maybe, yeah. Ooh, what is that going to do?
Let's see what happens.
Okay.
We're good. We're
What?
good. It knew what to do. It knew what to do.
Come on. Good scoping, JavaScript. Good scoping. Okay. But that's still unhappy. Is it because it's still undefined, potentially?
Yeah, do we need to actually set it?
We might. I mean, we could give it a default value. I think it does come in as...
Should we just project it into...
a 2D? Yeah.
Use some fake 2D value. It's got to be reversed, right?
And that's new pause 3. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, come on.
Vec2.from values.
Okay, mortar that sucker. I love the old, we'll drive to the center of the map and see what happens trick.
Yeah.
Oh.
I shudder. Oh, do you see a bullet? Oh, that's the tail. I mean, I am hitting myself.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Why do you keep hitting yourself? It's funny, I hit myself right around this area.
Huh. But... What?
Oh, wait.
Okay, wait, so, does it depend on the
And I killed myself.
direction that you're pointing the turret, maybe? Well, I sensed some breakpoint debugging about to happen in that bullet creation.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, so if we're gonna do breakpoint debugging, we got to bring out the big guns here.
This is number 90? Come on.
Wait, this is session 90.
Session 90. I was just writing down. Stop hitting yourself. at, I don't know, 1 hour and 20, just to make it the teaser.
Are you keeping a stream journal?
Sometimes I just I sometimes start a text document midstream to like put some thoughts in there, save myself the time in the future.
I really dig it.
But I don't try to annotate the whole thing while we're doing it because that's way too hard.
Yeah. I assure you, there's like 50 billion different places where this could be going wrong.
Let's. Yeah, this is the place I want to look though first, at least. Is it
Okay.
Is it running in the other? Are we in stuck mode? No.
Well, I don't know what happened there. All right. We're going to shoot it straight down the line, more or less. Okay?
Okay.
This is going directly to the right of... Actually, let's introduce some diagonal. I think adding diagonal will let us know if we're crossing our X's and Y's or whatnot.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
And like that. Okay. So... the bullet config... the origin is here, and the target is further to the right.
And more up. Yeah. Yep.
And more up.
Because that's negative z. That makes sense.
Okay, so my negating is wrong.
Okay. Because we start at negative 32 at the top of the map and then go down to 32 at positive at the bottom, right?
Oh, so all this negation stuff is nonsense.
Oh, great. I think the problem is that we might have already done it just by virtue of how we laid it out.
Why am I so confused about that?
I don't know. This is why we're going to convert it to 3D though.
Yeah. Okay, which means that there's a negative down here that we don't need, right?
Great. Okay, so this might actually
just be fine. It's just great.
Well, let's give it a yeah.
Let's give it another shot. Yeah, I agree. Okay, I'm still shooting myself.
So only at certain angles? Question mark.
Only at certain distances.
Certain distances.
Yeah.
Oh.
What if the issue... Well, first of all, our mortar firing height isn't used anywhere, so maybe we should probably figure that out. Yes?
Oh, yeah, what height does the bullet start at?
You ask a very good question, Dominic DeCrotty.
Because I think it might start at 0, which is less than that.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoops. From values.
Oh, wait, this is going to be an entity, right? Transform3.make. Right, it doesn't start at 0. It needs to...
Transform 3?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, into that component. Yeah. Transform 3 dot position, yeah.
Oh, come on. Do what I want. That's an improvement. I'm still shooting myself.
Certain distances. Interesting.
Okay. We'll just debug. It's cool.
Yeah.
Everyone stay calm.
Is there any other... We don't have any other 0y in here, do we? I wonder. Yeah, let's step through this again, because I'm curious what comes out the other side.
Okay, we're shooting diagonally. We're shooting relatively close as well.
Yeah, you want to see that? Yeah. Okay.
Okay, the target is less negative. That's what we want. And on the x-axis, and on the y-axis, it's more negative, which is what we just learned. Right?
Yep.
The distance is...
about 2 by 2, that looks right.
Yes. The theta is negative 24. I don't know how many. I don't know how to translate that in my head. It's...
Is that okay? Are we pointing straight down?
0.24 times We're going from radians to degrees, which is 180 divided by math.pi. Pi. 3.1415. That is not right, right?
No.
Oh wait, no, wait. This is the angle off the ground. This is the vertical elevation.
13 degrees still seems wrong for that close to you, though.
Yeah, it shouldn't be, and it also shouldn't be negative.
And it shouldn't be negative. Is it possible? What do we get if we negate gravity here? In on line 57. It is negative. I wonder if we
had too much faith in the math. Well, let's just take a look at this dude's math. He assumes G is a positive constant.
There we go. Okay.
What a jerk.
So then in our bulk calculations, we actually need to subtract that.
Yeah. So I think this should be a negative.
I prefer that. So let's just we'll just calculate it as negative gravity.
Yeah.
Which, for doing a reverse calculation from the angle from the target, I feel like negative gravity is not a bad concept.
Yeah. That was a good intuition, Dom.
I got him sometimes. All right. Hit it.
Okay.
Huh?
Our distance is 2 tiles.
Similar, yeah.
Okay, that looks a little bit 20.21 times 180 divided by 3.1415.
I still think that angle is much too soft. Oh, but I guess since it's a very close shot.
It's a close shot.
So it's just aiming straight down.
Yeah.
Okay, I can deal with that.
Horizontal velocity is 2.93 tiles per second. That's very slow, I think.
The vertical velocity, I think, is very slow. 2.93 tiles per second seems kind of fast. I mean, we only gave it a velocity of 3, right?
Yeah. And the bullet velocity is, we want it to be moving on the x-axis to the right, so it is positive. On the z-axis, we want it to be moving further than negative, so that value is correct. This seems like too large a value. What was our h-val to begin with?
Our h-val was 2.9 though.
Yeah. So this does not seem like.
Well, no, because that's the. I mean, 2.9 is almost max velocity, and we're only shooting 2 tiles, so that's like it's going to travel the full distance in the 1 second.
Where's our h-val again?
Did we lose it?
We did. Closure, maybe. God damn it.
It was like 2.9 though.
This debugger is garbage. Oh, we lost it. It was 2.9, you say?
Sorry, our yes, yeah, the h-val was, yeah.
Okay, yeah, maybe that makes sense. Because if I square this, that's roughly 4. If I square this, that's roughly 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. The square root of 8 is roughly the square root of 9. And the square root of 9 is 3. And our h-val is less than 3, right? Okay, so the math is starting to check out a little bit.
Yep.
So these fractions worked. And this is our v-val that we saw before. Should we just look at how this plays out?
Yeah, let's see it.
I did a breakpoint again. That was weird.
Huh.
Is it frozen?
I don't know. Now it's playing. What? I saw you. I mean, is that breakpoint still on?
I don't know. I'm gonna just reload.
Sure.
I think it's just confused. I think it's one of those things where maybe the browser and the...
I like the browser still sending the break, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
I don't understand.
That could be like a weird source map confusion. Let's try it. I don't care.
Did we crash Chrome? Okay. Not visible. If you're close to yourself,
Still not shooting myself.
you're not shooting anything anymore. Huh. Is it possibly hanging out near the center? Oh, yeah, it totally is. There it is. There's your big explosion. Oh, cool. Hey, look at that. Hey, that's sick. It is doing the thing. It's kind of lobbing it in there, huh? So if you aim that direction, can you hit yourself?
Okay, well, the directionality is correct. It seems like we're just missing the initial position, right?
I assume that's 0, 0. And you know what? That does make sense because we don't take the 2D pause into account anywhere.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, we just forgot about that.
Yes. So it should have been when we created the entity, right?
Yeah.
Dang it, Tom.
I'm just so full of useful information tonight.
Is that config? Origin?
ESK says relative coordinates. What are those?
Oof.
You're telling me. Oh, I bet it's config.origin 1. Because is that a vec2?
Oh, jeez. Why are we making a game? We clearly don't know what we're doing.
Hey.
Okay. Yeah, that looks like it's kind of doing it.
Yeah. So is it... So it's kind of running out of steam, I'm noticing.
Yeah, it definitely explodes.
No,
It feels like
expect.
0.5 is... And it doesn't really quite... I think we've actually hit maximum range, right? So, like, we need the bullet speed to be, like, way higher. Is that right?
Let's see what happens, yeah. Huh. If you aim close, what do we get?
Oops.
Oh. See, I worry that the speed that high is actually...
It's not picking large angles is basically what we're saying, right?
Right, it's picking the short angle, which is convenient? Question mark? Dean says we're doing unorthodox game development. We're not changing random parameters and refreshing enough. We'll get there. And ESK says
He's not wrong.
ESK says you're making a real game when you're creating objects at the origin by mistake. Hallmark of good game development.
It is falling short. So our math is just wrong, right?
It's too bad because it seems like we were close.
Yeah.
But yeah. Why is it? So it's falling short. Huh. You want to change the firing height to 0?
Yeah.
Let's change the random values real quick. I feel like 0.5 is actually... Okay, yeah, that's really weird.
Why is it falling at all? Shouldn't it be spawning at 0?
I also have that question. Huh.
Like it should be starting. It should be spawning in the ground, right? Unless there's something with the bullet system that's moving it. Do we set the Y position when we render? I don't think we do, right?
We might have,
crazy.
but not with the Transform 3. The whole point of the Transform 3 is to bust out of that, right?
Exactly. Get renderables. The Transform 3, if there's a Transform 3, yeah, we just take it directly, right?
Otherwise, we're sticking it at 0. Is the bullet itself 0.5 off the ground?
Oh.
And can we fix that in Blender?
Well, we need to fix it for the bullets somehow, right?
I was going to suggest that we give all our bullets Transform 3s.
Okay.
And render them at the appropriate Y value.
Okay. That feels like refactor territory a little bit.
Only a little bit, but I was thinking that we're kind of... Just because we're deep in the bullet system.
I'm going to just do something really friggin' horrible.
Yeah, do it. Do it. That's what I love to see. Dean says, "Embrace the rebel boys."
Well, you know what? If we know that the bullet is in the ground, well, the problem is the explosion point is always going to render 0.5 units above where we want it to explode, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
so I guess yeah. What we're seeing is,
well, I'll give you the horrible hack.
okay, yeah, do it.
We only have one thing that uses the transform theory right now, which is the mortar. Is that right?
Yep. Oh no. I know exactly what you're about to do. Ship it.
This is every piece of code that we've ever used in our lives, right? Every large system looks like this.
I've shipped worse, yeah.
So I think this is probably the genesis of our weird bullet trajectory as well. Remember we were having issues with that?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now it hits the ground, which is what we expect.
I mean, I wouldn't expect. I would expect it to blow up right away.
We're not oriented. I bet it does pick a slightly higher.
Oh, you're right. Right.
It picks an angle to hit it, so it doesn't want to hit the ground. Yeah.
Oops. But it's not quite making it, right?
Well, and that's the same.
It also appears to have like a really limited maximum. I bet we're hitting undefines here.
I bet so, yeah.
The console's not. That's the node console, but what is this saying? That's not complaining. It's not giving me like, oh, you got not a number. But I bet we're spraying not a number into the renderer. I bet.
I wonder if you go back to the center, if it shows up there for those long range ones.
Yeah, where can we possibly produce not a number in this math?
Let's look at the. It's in the creation for sure.
Yeah.
I say for sure. It could be anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Wait, what?
This creation. Yeah.
Yeah, it's this arc sign, right? That's it.
Uh-huh.
What does arc sign look like again? The arc sign. Arc sign!
I mean, it sounds really cool.
It does sound cool. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we're getting some values that exceed the -1 to 1 range. We're not going to get anything, right? Oh, arc sign is in red, but same difference.
Same range.
Yeah.
And that's okay, right? Because the highest value we'd want is pi over 2, because that's a straight up shot. Correct?
Exactly.
So that's totally fine. What can we? Can we look at the math we're using again? Yeah, this is,
Okay. We're looking at it.
Sorry, the core math. I was curious about this final. Is it possible we divided by 2 wrong in the wrong place?
Are you talking about this final divided by 2?
Yeah. I don't think so. Because that should be 2 theta, should be that arc sign. Yeah, that seems right.
It's the arc sign of this value, then divided by 2.
Yeah, no, that does seem right.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
K is 0. K is 0. Yeah.
can you still have 2 answers if you... If you're shooting at something that's perfectly level?
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible to still have 2 answers?
I guess so, because you could aim up this much or this much, basically. Like you can go like short shot, like gravity, do the work, or like lob it. Basically, we want the lob shot.
Yes, exactly. So are we picking the short shot here?
It sure looks like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is probably optimal. Is there a way to get around that? There's no like easy inverse here, right? We can't just subtract like pi over 2.
Is it really possible to have two? I guess it must, like, if you angled up an infinitesimal amount, like let's say you're trying to shoot an infinitesimally small point that's directly in front of you at gun height. You could tip it up a tiny, tiny amount and shoot, and then gravity would affect the trajectory of the bullet, so it would pull it back down however much you tipped it up that tiny amount, right? That's what you're saying, right?
That's the short shot, and the lob.
And then you could also lob it by like tipping it way up, right?
I have a very dumb idea.
You have an idea.
So we're calculating this as our angle from the XZ plane, right?
You correct. Yes.
What if we calculated it? Well, so we're assuming that like the default is 0 and we're angling up. What if we calculated our? Can we change the plane we're calculating on to like turn it this way? Because I feel like this is going to generate the smallest motion from the plane is what's happening.
Okay.
So what if we swap something? Can we always be lobbing? I don't know.
The problem is that gravity. You have to calculate against the plane that gravity affects. That gravity's moving towards.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because if it didn't matter, then it would just be like 90 degrees minus your answer. I think. I think that's how it would work.
Yeah, I think that's right.
How come I'm so washed out color-wise? Is the light next to me really giving off no red color content?
You're pretty washed out. Yeah.
I'm pretty washed out.
You should get one of them hue bulbs and put a little warm light.
I have a hue bulb behind me. It's just not in this light right here. And I'm generally not a big fan of the hue bulb, but this is the time that I could have used it.
Not a fan of the hue bulb.
I just don't like pulling out my mobile phone to turn on a light. Do you know what I mean?
I'm just gonna...
Oh, look at you showing off. Unbelievable. Despicable.
Now I gotta find my light again. There we go.
Where are my zoom options? Where are they? If I'm full screen, can I just straight up not view my zoom options if I'm screen sharing?
Do command comma, and that's your preferences.
Here. Oh yes, preferences. Backgrounds and filters. Do I have filters?
Yeah.
I haven't paid for them.
Hit Studio Effects Beta.
Oh my god.
Nope. You can only give yourself. I don't understand. I have all of these.
I think it's because you're paying for it, right? And but I can't adjust my lip color. It doesn't appear to be working though. This is a huge letdown.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say that to everybody on the stream right now. This is a massive letdown.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah. What if I wanted very exciting and transgressive purple lips?
I like that. We're just like this angle. This angle's pretty hard. Out of here.
Sorry.
No, you're good here. I'm just gonna let me just yeah.
Where did we lose our two answers? I think we lost it in this magical arrow that this person wrote here. Oh, Dom, now you're just showing off. Unbelievable.
I paid for this, all right? I can turn that off.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. I need to be put in my place on a very frequent basis. And that's exactly what's going on right now.
This case has 3 glasses to help with trajectory estimation. There you go, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If it makes us feel any better, Zoom's kind of like ability to map those 3 glasses on your face.
Like what a horrifying angle.
It's not great. They're not doing the best possible job that they could be.
No.
I'm just putting that out there.
Nope. Low quality algorithm here.
Yeah.
I think you're so. If
this little implies arrow, is that what you call this? What is the symbol here?
Are there 2 potential answers for the left side of that arrow?
What do you call this thing? Long rightwards double arrow. Not only he used the logical equivalence.
But
I think he's wrong.
But so is there a left? Are there 2 answers on the left? Because we could calculate that.
Yeah, see, because like
But are there two answers to that?
Because like he's got a squared here, and somehow that just magically disappeared. Right? There's a plus and a minus there. So we could go back to this horrible thing,
Hooray!
which we had 4 possible answers to sift through.
Yep.
Is this really what they do in Hades? It must be, right?
Probably.
Either that or what they did in Hades.
They used Unity.
I don't think the framework has anything to do with this. I guarantee you that Unity does not have a magic function that just calculates this. But what they could have done is just set up a table, right? They're like, okay, at this distance away, I think this kind of feels good. And at this distance away, I think this kind of feels good. And I'm just going to like, if you're in between, I'm going to lerp. And if I'm slightly off, screw it, right?
Gosh, that's so silly that it makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Well, you know, even if we get this right, we still have to make sure that having a constant muzzle velocity feels good, right? Because that's an assumption that we've made and just like decided that would be fine.
Dean points out they didn't stream themselves making Hades.
You know, there's a great documentary about them making Hades.
Yeah.
Search for the no clip Hades documentary.
This gun.
But they don't really get too much into detail on how they implemented the gun. They do talk about implementing the gun, though. It's really funny. Apparently, the really hard thing about the gun is that they didn't know how to draw the main character when he was both moving and firing at the same time.
Did they just take that out? Is that what happened?
I think they just solved it by like making you stop running.
Yeah, you stop. You just stop, which is great.
Yeah. Because I guess it's just kind of like, what do you do with the twin stick shooter? What do twin stick shooters look like when you're just like shooting in a direction that your feet aren't moving?
I mean, they look. You start backing up sometimes.
Oh, I guess the sprite just flips around suddenly.
Yeah. I like their choice though.
Yeah.
Dean Putney says, "I thought Hades was a dating simulator." I mean, sort of.
Hades is a dating simulator, but it has a gun.
It has a gun, yeah.
Among other weapons, the gun was a controversial addition.
I like the gun a lot.
But I like the gun a lot. It might be my favorite.
Yeah,
weapon.
ESK says moving while firing sounds like a massive balance issue in Hades. The gun's already good, and ESK is right.
The gun's good. ESK is right. Yeah, the gun's good.
Everything in Hades is good.
Wait, what is the secondary shot on the gun? Is it the mortar?
That's the mortar, yeah.
Okay, so you don't have to get the hammer to get the mortar then.
That's right. You always have a mortar shot. You have to upgrade it into like the triple one.
Oh man, yeah, the triple one's the best. Yeah. Oh my god, that game is so good.
What are the weapons in Hades? Sword, spear, bow, gun, shield,
the gloves,
fists. Yeah, that's all 6.
It's funny. I think my favorite weapons are the unconventional ones. I like the fist and I like the gun. Don't like the shield, actually.
Dean says if you're walking towards someone and fire the gun, does your speed add on to the muzzle velocity for extra damage? I mean, it does in Hades, actually.
What?
You
can dash. You can dash shoot.
Dash shot is more powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I can't tell if Dean's trying to troll us, but
it is true that if you
are
sprinting at somebody while firing your gun,
bullets go a little faster.
The bullets are going to be going a little bit faster,
yeah.
Right? But don't the bullets also slow you down? And therefore, the bullets should be going slightly faster, right? There's some complex interaction that goes on.
You ever do that thing? Were you a kid in like the backseat of the car going 60 miles an hour and you're like throwing a ball up in the air and catching it and you're like, why is this not zooming into the back window every time it leaves my hand?
So, can you say that one more time?
Yeah, like you're in a car.
Yeah.
You're on the highway. You're a child, and you like toss something in the air and you expect it to like fly back behind you.
Right.
That thing. But then it doesn't.
Well, it's kind of like I'm gonna make my sailboat and then hook a massive industrial fan to the back of the boat and have the air go straight into the sails.
But it doesn't happen because everything in the car, including the air, is also moving 60 miles an hour. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same sort of idea.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. But if the fan on the back of the boat worked, it would be pretty amazing, wouldn't you say?
That'd be pretty good.
I guess you could just turn the fan upside down and stick it in the water, and then it would kind of just accomplish the same goal and have the benefit of actually working. Right.
Okay, speaking of actually working, Ours doesn't.
Are you saying you want to do this?
I guess. I mean, like, should we try that real quick? It looks really annoying. Yeah. I mean, if we start with the number 2 right there, maybe we'll get somewhere.
Yeah, I mean we could do it. We could do it. We got 10 minutes.
We got. I mean, so like, let's snapshot what we've got here as like. I wonder if this is salvageable, but yeah, let's hold on to that.
It seems like it's not salvageable.
I think you're right, because if it...
I think our boy who hasn't... maybe he should have revisited his math after high school, because he seems like he's taking some liberties here. Oof. Is that too harsh of a dunk? I mean, this guy's just helping us out left and right. He also seems like a nice guy. He painted that picture of his wife.
You've been dunking on this guy so hard, yeah. It's okay, this is Dunktown, apparently. Break out the dunk tank. You know what it was?
I think it was the sub... I'm sorry, dude. You're actually super helpful. But it's this, and it's like this word always. One could merely... There's a just in there, right? There's words to avoid, I think, sometimes.
Oh, yeah, it is.
There's like a sense of just in what you could always, right?
I see. I wanted to read Amelia Payne's comment here, but I need to sign in to Quora, and I refuse.
Oh. I think I might have a Quora account, but I'm not signed in this browser. Modern life is so complicated. Multiple browsers, accounts. All right, let's do the math.
Yeah, let's do that version real quick.
Let's do the math. All right.
How bad could it be? Pretty bad.
The big B.
Huh?
Big A is equal to our x divided by y, and this is already where we got into trouble because our y has to be non-zero, right?
Oh. Right.
But that's okay because the target is at the height, right? So x is our distance. Yeah.
Still feel good about those two. Yeah.
Still feeling really good.
I got you. So yeah. So whatever. We'll keep y as 0.5.
Distance divided by mortar height, firing height.
Yeah.
Right. Big B. It doesn't have to be big. It can be little, right? There's nothing wrong with it being little. So we established that their math, their G is not negative, so we have to negate G, right? Negative mortar gravity.
Times distance times distance.
Times dist. All of this goodness divided by firing height times the muzzle velocity squared, right? Mortar muzzle speed.
Yep.
All right, which gives us the ability to do... Oh, my God. The discriminant. Aren't you glad I gave that a name?
Yeah, it helps quite a bit.
Oh, actually... We're going to have the quadratic equation A. Which is A times A plus 1. We're going to have the quadratic equation B, which is 2 times B minus A times A. Thank goodness for operator precedence.
Yep.
And quadratic equation C is B times B.
I actually really appreciate that TypeScript won't let me mess up operator precedence either. It's just nice. Or maybe it's ESLint doing that for us, but I don't care. JavaScript saves the day.
Yeah. And then finally, we can get to this horrible thing, which actually is not so bad because it's just the quadratic equation, right? Const discriminant is equal to B times B minus 4 times A times... Oh, these are all Q's.
Those all need Q's. Yeah. QB. Yep.
If discriminant is less than 0, do something wacky.
You want to like throw here? We could throw.
All right.
Let's do it. I kind of want to know when this is happening.
Yeah.
Hey, I got an email from my turn. It's my turn.
Yeah, I actually also got like emails about volunteering, at the vaccination sites, which I kind of like had a moment where I was like, I already got my vaccine. I don't need to do this. And then I like felt guilty for even thinking about that. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll volunteer.
Oh, nice.
And then I went through and it like, they ask you this like surprisingly complicated questionnaire in which you need to know like your vaccination dates for a variety of other maladies. And I realized I actually don't know. I probably just need to get revaccinated for everything because I literally don't know the last time. I don't have a vaccination record. I've just moved around too much and I, changed providers so much. It was in my 20s and I just didn't care. I think I got my Hep B vaccine, but like it happened at some point.
Oh yeah, you probably need like a tetanus shot or something.
Yeah, I probably need a tetanus shot. And then I couldn't finish the application. It was like...
So they won't let you volunteer for COVID vaccines if you don't have an up-to-date tetanus shot.
It was just the survey, like I just was trying to fill out my profile.
That's really funny.
Yeah. Well, that was that.
Yep. That's okay. You tried. And that's what counts.
Okay.
So if it's less than 0, we're already in the positive case. Or no.
Yeah, and then if it's equal to 0, then we have still we have 3 possible with 3 or 4. We still have 4 possible answers we need to navigate here, right? So W1 is equal to negative QB plus math dot square root. Actually, let's do the discriminant. Because we need to be precise. This is divided by 2 times QA. Const W2 is equal to this. Minus. And then we also have plus or minus here, which is the whole thing we're trying to avoid by getting this down to one equation, right?
Yep. But it's interesting because I guess...
Do we need to solve the 0 case as well?
What does it mean if it's 0? Does that mean we're shooting straight up?
It just means there's only one answer.
Oh. Well then, only one answer to this part, but then we also have arc cos plus or minus the root, so...
Yeah.
Might as well just do it 4 times.
Okay, so you're saying...
we could basically sort the thetas we get out of this and see which one is closest to pi over 2 for the lobbyist.
It's true.
Yeah.
So you're saying the answers are...
Yeah.
Basically the math... Well, the thing is, we don't know if the answers are possible because either of these could be negative, right? W's. W1 is greater than or equal to 0. Is this awful? It feels awful.
I don't think it's that bad. Let's push through. I can think of how to refactor this and so it'll look like less code, but
Okay. So now we have our W's. And our answers is this. Did I answers? Why is that word spelled so weird?
Semantic satiation.
Yeah, answers. Const W of W's Actually, you know what? I could have just done this.
We won't know if they're negative, though. Or are you just going to... Yeah.
I'm going to
okay.
do that inside.
Great. Love it.
Okay. So
we
we need to take the square root of that, right?
Yep.
And if math that absolute value of the square root is greater than 1, really greater than or equal to 1, right? We don't want to shoot straight up.
I'm okay shooting straight up. As long as we go up.
Okay, 1 is the range, though. Or 1 is the domain,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's got to be...
Yeah, but I
within
think
that
you should be able
range.
to pop it up to 90.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay. We continue. Otherwise, the answer... Actually, let's just do const. Best answer is undefined. Is a number or undefined.
Probably do a let for that as well.
If best answer is undefined, so const, the result here is equal to the arc cosine. Of this. Best answer is undefined. Or best answer is less than answer. Then best answer equals answer.
Yeah, I like that.
And then we need to do the negative version of this as well. Oh, sweet Jesus. So this is the theta, right?
Yeah.
Best theta.
Is it upset that it can no longer be undefined at that point? I think it is. Yep, that's funny.
That seems like an error, right?
No, because the above conditional is if it's undefined, set it to a number. Like line 104 makes line 109's first half
You're right.
untype safe.
Sorry, TypeScript.
I know, TypeScript
should never have doubted you. Should never have doubted you. I got shamed into that. Okay, so the rest of this stuff
About the same, yeah.
about the same.
I'd be really curious if we just logged out the angle that we got from shooting around right now, too. Because we should see we see numbers a lot closer to, what is it? Like 1.57 if we're close to us. Oh, you're just doing it. Hell yeah.
Best theta, did I?
I guess it could be undefined. What if we set it to 0? Yeah.
Maybe we just throw, right?
Love it. Even
That's
better.
basically what it means.
Even better.
Out of range 2. And you want to log the angle?
Oh yeah, or I was going to say debug it, but yeah, let's log out best theta. I'm super curious.
Okay.
Does it blend?
Why did it not start up?
I don't know. Something else had the player count. I saw that.
Is there another window open?
I don't know.
Yes, there is.
Ah.
Yes, there is. This
Bingo.
is my debugging window.
Ah. Still claiming the server. Okay.
Oh, Jesus. I'll dock it on the bottom.
All right.
What's new? Why do I want that? Why do I ever want that?
ESK says best data and presumably less best data.
Oh, Jesus.
Whoa. Okay. Whole thing crashed. Great. Out of range 1.
I think that was our.
Okay, so throwing bad. I see what happens when I throw errors in our code. Never mind. Cool.
Okay, so what does that mean?
The discriminant was less than 0. Surprising.
I mean, it's not surprising that all this math is wrong. There's a heinous amount of math. Okay, so I'm going to try some conservative shot.
Cool.
Okay, and that immediately crashes it.
Great.
Right.
Out of range 1. Yeah.
All right, so this is our homework for our long extended break, because I am out Thursday, which means there's no stream, and then Dom is out on Monday, which also means there's no stream.
Yes, we'll be back on lucky Thursday the 13th.
Thursday 13th. I like the alliteration there. It's a very auspicious.
Yeah, why is Friday the 13th the bad one? Thursday the 13th sounds maybe it sounds good. Maybe that's the good day.
Thursday the 13th. Somehow having your bad day like midweek seems kind of shitty, right? Friday seems like a good day for something to go wrong.
That's fair.
Because it's supposed to be like the best day. Although, when they invented Friday the 13th, had the modern day labor movement already occurred? Because Friday was meaningless before that.
8 hours for work, 8 hours for sleep, 8 hours for what you will, and 8 hours.
In conclusion,
8 hours
unions
of
are
pure
good.
terror from Freddy
Unions
Krueger.
are good.
Yeah.
In conclusion. All right, folks.
All right. Have a great night. See ya.
Yes.